Hey Mustangs, welcome to this Monday edition of the Daily Update. I'm Jenny Rudolph.
And I'm Kennedy Hayes, coming to you from the Tony Peterson studio on the SMU campus. Let's get to the news. The CDC and the FDA have lifted the Johnson & Johnson vaccine despite its blood clot risk. Both agencies agreed that the vaccine's benefits are greater than its risk. After 15 confirmed blood clot cases, the vaccine will now have an updated label warning women under the age of 50 about the risk. Johnson & Johnson will continue to work with the CDC and FDA to monitor the vaccine and to make sure the blood clot cases are identified and treated.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is set to be sentenced on June 16th. Chauvin was found guilty of 3 counts in the murder of George Floyd. He is guilty of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. He faces over 70 years in prison if charged with the maximum sentences in all 3 areas. Chauvin will be sentenced at 1:30 p.m. on June 16th.
This spring marks the first full year after the pandemic, and a lot has changed. The Texas mask mandate has been lifted, more people have been vaccinated, so what changes can you expect at the airport? I recently went to Dallas Love Field to check out the changes. A lot has changed at Dallas Love Field Airport since last April, when many flyers were grounded by stay-at-home orders.
A year ago, it was fairly doom and gloom in our industry, whereas this year, it's been pretty good. People are starting to travel again.
And travelers are approaching spring break with a new attitude.
So I actually have been feeling a lot more comfortable, actually, just being around other people and all that kind of stuff. So I feel pretty good about traveling. I don't feel like I'm going to go home and get sick or anything like that.
But how does this come to play in a city like Dallas, where mask mandates have been lifted and social distancing is no longer a state law?
Everybody followed the mask mandate. I felt great. It was great.
Surveys have shown that if our customers are going to travel again, they do expect a lot of airports and of airlines. And the number one thing is they like to see people wearing masks. And so we'll continue to enforce that. But it looks like things are certainly starting to return as far as travel goes.
With traffic increasing here at the airport, even if you've been vaccinated, you're still going to have to wear your mask, even just to check in.
I am fully vaccinated now. I work in healthcare, so I was able to get fully vaccinated.
And if you break the rules, consequences follow.
They are at risk of getting a monetary penalty in doing that. And, we just tell people, to respect their fellow traveler. Not everyone has had that access to the vaccine yet.
Doors are closing. This is a final call on.
So in Dallas, you might not be required to wear a mask and social distance any longer. But if you plan to travel through Love Field, FAA guidelines require you follow safety protocols. The airport anticipates having a full travel season by the end of the year, and things are looking up. For SMU-TV, I'm Kennedy Hayes. To stay updated on Dallas Love Field's policies, you can visit their website at dallas-lovefield.com. This year's Academy Awards brought breaking barrier wins. SMU-TV's Hannah Jones has the story.
Sunday marked the 93rd Annual Academy Awards. Guests were able to walk the red carpet and remain maskless for the majority of the event. This year's nominees were the most diverse in history. An all-black production team was nominated for Best Picture. 2 Asian actors were nominated for Best Actor, and 2 women were nominated for Best Director. The night ended with Nomadland winning Best Picture. For SMU-TV, I'm Hannah Jones.
Japan declares its 3rd state of emergency, and international leaders attend the funeral for Chad's deceased president. Those stories and more are in this week's World News for World Changers with SMU-TV's Brooklyn Hahn.
Hi Mustangs, welcome to World News for World Changers. I'm Brooklyn Hahn, and here are your global headlines.
Japan's central government has declared its 3rd state of emergency due to the coronavirus pandemic. Emergency measures have been imposed in Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Hyogo prefectures. While the new restrictions stop short of a full lockdown, they do impose limits on restaurants, clubs, and other non-essential businesses. The declaration comes as Japan is seeing a nationwide spike in new COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations. The streets of New Delhi are empty as India battles a devastating second wave of COVID-19. Friday marked the second day in a row the country reported the world's highest daily rate of new coronavirus cases. Everything in the country is in short supply, including medicine, hospital and intensive care beds, and oxygen. In an effort to help the dire oxygen situation, a court has ordered a ban on the use of oxygen for industrial purposes and hopes to conserve supplies for medical usage. Saudi Arabia is no longer receiving shipments of Lebanese fruits and vegetables. The ban, which started Sunday night, is the result of an increase in drug smuggling activities, according to the Kingdom's state news agency. Last week, Saudi officials at Jeddah port discovered 5.3 million pills of Captagon hidden in a consignment of pomegranate fruits imported from Lebanon. International leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, paid their respects to Chad's deceased President Idriss Déby as he was laid to rest on Friday. President Déby died a week ago Tuesday due to injuries he suffered while fighting rebels. His death marks the end to his more than 30-year rule. The country is currently being run by a transitional military council. And that's the news from around the globe. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
Thanks, Brookley, for that report. And that's your Mustang Minute.
We want to make Dallas a non-kill city, and we rescue out of Dallas Animal Services for that purpose and save as many dogs as we can.
All across Dallas that believe in the animals that need to be saved, and they help us by hosting our events. We don't have an actual shelter facility, so getting out in the public and doing this on a weekly basis is so important for the dogs. And it's also important for visibility for our organization as well. We not only get the dogs some exposure, but we also get volunteers, we get fosters, and of course donations, which is super helpful.
For more information, visit dallaspetsalive.org.
Severe storms will be moving through the U.S. this week. A western storm system from the weekend will be moving across the U.S. Threats of damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes will begin Tuesday in parts of the country and slowly make its way to the eastern half of the U.S. Wednesday could also hold a potential threat of severe storms in Texas and to the southeast and mid-Atlantic. Flash flooding will be a concern for areas of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. Still, some states like North Dakota and Minnesota are welcoming the rain to help the severe drought conditions. Here in North Texas, we could see some of that severe weather beginning Tuesday night. So gear up for some spring showers this last full week of classes, Mustangs. Monday will be mostly cloudy with some sun peeking through in the afternoon. It'll be the warmest day of the week with highs in the mid-80s and lows in the mid to upper 60s. You will need umbrellas starting Tuesday when we see temperatures reach a high near 80 degrees and lows around 70. As you mentioned, there could be some scattered thunderstorms moving into North Texas overnight. And rolling into Wednesday, the scattered thunderstorm will continue throughout the day, with highs in the lower 80s and lows in the mid-60s. The rain doesn't go away on Thursday as there is an 80% chance of rain and thunderstorms. Highs on both Thursday and Friday will be in the mid-70s and lows in the mid to upper 50s. But it looks like we will get a break from the rain this coming weekend, so until then, stay safe and dry this week, Mustangs. That's your 5-day forecast. I'm Jenny Rudolph.
Recycling is one of the easiest ways to help the environment as an SMU student.
I choose to recycle because we only have one planet, so we have to take care of it.
Going out of our way to make sure that we are recycling everything that's truly recyclable is the easiest way to be successful. I like being able to recycle water bottles, it just makes me feel better about using all the plastic that I do, unfortunately.
So do your part, Mustangs, and recycle. For more information, Google SMU Recycling.
With the fashion industry being a huge polluter to the world, many companies and people are trying to do their part in becoming more environmentally friendly. SMU-TV's Haley Minnick takes a look at how recycling and upcycling your clothes can help make an environmental impact.
The fashion industry is the second biggest polluter in the world. And many people are choosing to purchase used clothes as a way to help reduce carbon footprint.
I love the selection and certainly the value. So the thought to me in a manner of being green as well as the value in it is to repurchase.
Consumers are even taking their clothes to resale stores instead of throwing them away.
In fact, people don't realize that 95% of the clothes that get discarded can either be recycled or upcycled.
The really important environmental impact is that 64% of clothes actually wind up in landfills, and so you can do your part in making the environment a better place by shopping local, by shopping thrift stores or resale shops that will help improve the environment and reduce the waste.
Even though resale stores try to do their part in reducing carbon footprint, it's also up to the consumer to help make an environmental impact as well.
This generation coming up is much more educated on it and also open to the thrifting concept. So I think that next generation coming up is going to be much more responsible and be utilizing the resale and thrift environment.
For SMU-TV, I'm Haley Minnick.
Spring weather is upon us, so that might be a great opportunity to visit your local resale store near you. Well, that's all we have for you, Mustangs.
Remember, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/SMU-television and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at SMU-TV. If you have any story ideas, shoot us an email, smutv@smu.edu. Thanks for watching this Monday edition of the Daily Update. Tune in Tuesday for more news from the Hilltop.
Until then, have a great day and pony up.
Division of Journalism want to thank our underwriters, North Park Center in Dallas, Javier's Gourmet Mexicano on Cole Avenue, and Advance ER off West Lovers Lane. We appreciate your support of student media.